It's okay. Now we are live. Bafala assalamu alaikum be mulbe kontona.
Okay.
Lal ni lamoy lal ni welcome follow comment lal mulbe bi minketa nale ale kachaje nale topico je Backway situation olem because banko be bafala na for dunia be nyin kole fokam. Dunia be bafala BBC dulal be abije because ako atambita bulola le saing dala la ko maneta. So B nga yaya le soto ngalon ko Ibrahima migrant might join because malon fa be connection soto no but yaya molbe yaya lon ngalo yaya sonko migrant activist at katara saing Gambia European Center for Jobs and Migration ay wole datu moli lon ne ameta nyin kelola migration ko ameta ko kelodam ma bari ka advocate ka ko amandan doron ko ka kofo ko mol kata bari mune wekela hani Europe fana ibe mol mako ila nyadi fo ye CJ ibe mol regularize la nyadi le ibe cool tala so amanke da mako ka mol stop ikana tabari hani tatani futata je how ibe live la nyame so mbal be kontona an yaya be kontona abarka bake because nyine mu banko di yati al sitale aliye problem oje ya jube ya kisi yaje mansa kunda felta dame I wulita il dota wole mo patriotism ninko patriotism wole mo nyinti ika wulle yelo masakunda man lo nyata dame ite lo yakije ilota mole ilota game ilota kanyin kota ka mol nya yele ka fo hey alal nya yele ali jube nyinem problem na molbe fakan na molbe maltreat kan Europe because ite bukanda njefore ka diamo about how na molbe been treated also in Europe so nyine ma besi abarka ibe do ko menkela sometimes ni be nyela it alone ngajete in Ibrahima migrant alflo le be nyinto sometimes alone lile ko besi foma ngajele masakunda sometimes akanala ay ko refute ay ko ay balankolma wol be alman give up nyine mu this is it ni be la tonya kay kallo akanne and ala barka bake ila time because mo yalon ko family be bulle be yalo Europe be nyamen ila doko foye doko ke be kol sambala papa de nyin doka ke free leti because ile free time ila wole use be yalo among easy but yalo gambe no sometimes ko kolo de camera ko kari ka kodole make jam wa tara koditi je is because ite iwu gambe dingoleti anu gambe le sula ngamen fo mole wati ko ni mol ka fanyo ko ite da halabang ngoy ko ipukalong ikamere kamuro le so njuso kono ninga something je me yalo ko gambe dingoli bi tajarante yabe gambe dingol kan abada ibuka tawfang ni wulita be safero kala ibuka tawfang ni wulita be diamlo because akafenga the same thing ngalo wulete fana wulindi because imeta kala ko me yalo ko imam believe ala kuma me ka fokko do wala nje yalo buka me na me do ikada hale because for yes ni kono abarka
absolutely
bafle ni juberale ño konton you know to yanni beduna topiko kono Fang introduce.
Yeah, baraka bake sister day komi ya fanyamin nto mu yahya sonkoleti alhamdulillah be sabatri jamani banko kan nin nan dimbayalu ba tolu fanan alaye not ndingi la kabring dun tumo wa metu abdu manke ko na elder sister senior sister nyol wol metu abdu wala ndolu sangitan sain kabring dun datu abdu alhamdulillah ngado ko do ko ke dana kati loto le bang lokun kono le bang be tata data is particularly migration. So wodo ko nyin kono natam fon kala mutande je baake natam fon karande do ko nyin kono ngam fon develop the capacity building and stuff like that. So yes nata jambi koteke because ñi manke na follow ñi platform oro ñi platform bu ñaare maato anda ketanye is always a honor to me to come and share a platform, you know, with senior citizens like you and you know Bamba and you know all the rest of the team definitely. So absolutely, Mbejambi alta muru alta subu and you know inshallah kachani sa kono fanundi ñaaro do mani abaran.
Abarkabake yaya bi ni dol blobe mutarine Suleiman Jeng blobe mutarine Aziz and maybe Aziz will pop up Bamba fana maybe abe pop up la bari bi ngenati menna yaya Mustafa fana binale because technical call be siara fana bulu jana but yaya bi ngenati lembe yaje membe kering mol bebe wuri la bari ite meta wuri la le bile mbe wuli tan bebe wuri la masa kunda fara bila wulta aya nya fele do man de ko mbatu ngani ko jube bari ite meta wuri la le so nyimme ngaje mune mu nyinti mune ma what mune mu nyimbeti nyin Backway ko beti mune mati because what do we know so far about the scale and the pattern of these tragedies nga mune long so far nyin ko
okay yeah okay yeah Sister Day, the scale mbetembo minto the scales are too high. In fact, it has never happened in the history of the Gambia. Nyimben Sambala Nanka Dr. Ismaila Cisse Jabi officially or verbally in this noble platform, where we all had him at West Coast Radio, where he was downplaying the current trend of irregular migration in the Gambia. Atela Sataroro Ako, the current trend is normal. And because let me say Gambia government Nyakoto, because I tell him Gambia government at the Amlag. He even went further to say that in fact, irregular migration was worse in Jammeh time than Barrow time, which definitely, ngamira hani dindingo membe silokang Bakau or Banjul or Birkama silokang borin na ni kai Backway nunto anembi wallahi wodi no ba fele ko ngamoy la ko mo kar bata nyi sukar kon. So the reality in the Gambia na mansa kunda lemu the first instrument to downplay this irregular migration. My reason being is, if a whole minister of information from the government, Qatar Media House, trying to bring, even comparing it, that alone, that alone is a tragedy. Mang dalila je, mimbatina, Dr. Ismaila Cisse, a political scientist who is well informed, well knowledgeable, well prepared about the current situation in Gambia in general. Where I see media house among Pensoto at the Mimfola, but to compare Jamela irregular migration pattern between Jamela time and Barrow time. That is politics. He is clearly bringing politics into this thing. The current migration trend is far beyond that. Dr. Ismaila Cisse, I will tell you today, I will debunk you by, giving you facts that every Gambian knows. It has never happened in Yaya Jammeh time. Gambia no Bebe Lamuel. It has never happened in Jammeh time. But then I will start counting. In 2019, a boat left Bara, going through this Spain journey, in 7 days journey, and accident in Mauritania in 2019. More than 60 young Gambians perished, died like that. Out of that 60, nearly 20 of them were from Bara, if Gambians remember. That was in 2019. Between 2020 to 2021, a full boat left Kartong, I think around Kartong Gunjuru. Many of the youths in that boat were from Kartong Gunjuru. The boat from Kartong Gunjuru left the Gambia, Itata, Backway, up to today, a single individual from that boat, Manje Dulat, more than 5 years now. Again, in 2024, just last 2024, it was mid of September 2024, the Bakau tragedy, Dr. Ismaila Cisse. Bakau people or Gambian youths, many of them from Bakau, in fact, some family, husbands and wives, Ibrata Kulungu Kono from Bakau, Kulungu Nyintata, Kulungu Nyinata accident soto, and many people died in that boat. That was just end of 2024. Again, this year, 2026, currently there are 3 boats missing. Ibrahim migration situation, credits to this young boy, credits to his efforts, credits to his courage. Ibrahim migration situation is doing everything. Yeah, call time or time. You will get him. He is always getting, calling people like us, dialoguing with us, looking for solutions. We are doing everything. This man is in Gambia currently working like hell. But all these things are happening. Not only in fact, not only that, but let's talk about, in fact, government institutional. How many boats do they intercept? Did Ismaila Cisse forget that the Immigration Department of the Gambia go to their Facebook page? This year alone, they announced interception of more than 5 boats. You still want to tell me that was happened in a year? You still want to tell me that happens in Gambia time? Gambia Navy, go to their Facebook page. These are official stuff that nobody can fool anybody. Gambia Navy, when you go to their Facebook page alone, they have announced they have announced that they intercept many boats. So all these things are happening. Dr. Ismaila Cisse wants us to believe the current migration trend is normal. In fact, Jammeh time is worse than that. That is how the government, that is how you know that this Gambia government are not serious about this. And coming back to your question, what do we know about what the situation right now? Look, if we have a serious government, Sister Ney, if we really have a serious government, if Gambians are serious, our institutions are serious, if President Barrow is real and serious, what happened on the 31st of December should not have happened. Do you know why? Because we have been, people and media houses alarmed that more than 2 or 3 boats are getting prepared in Jinaki. People have alarmed that Jinaki is completely full of young men and women, waiting for a possible departure of a boat. People alerted the government institutions, police, navy, different institutions in Gambia. Ibrahim migration situation went himself to Jinaki, visited Jinaki, Afango in person, okay, to have the first-hand information. As soon as about Jinaki, he called and communicated this information to almost all the necessary institutions in Gambia. Not only that, Nyomi FM, the general manager, Nyomi FM, Usman Barong, went to Jinaki, made a report, and different media houses for that matter. Okay, and different individuals, where even Jinaki citizens were telling people that Jinaki is overloaded currently. If this is a serious government, we have serious institutions in Gambia. We have people working in those institutions that they love Gambia. The 31st of December incident should not have happened because it could have easily been intercepted. What is wrong with Gambia government security agencies intelligence? If they are telling us they cannot go there with uniform, why can they use intelligence? Should we tell them also how to work, how to operate in order to get some information? In fact, it's the open secret in Jinaki. Today, just today again, I was reading Omar Saibo Jr., Omar Kamara, fact check. He went to Jinaki yesterday. He made a post just a few minutes ago, the situation in Jinaki, and up to today, thousands of youth are still gathered in Jinaki, and they are waiting for a possible departure of boats from Jinaki. After this press release, after this President Barrow's speech, we are waiting for another disaster to happen if Gambia government did not take control of Jinaki. I mean, take control of Jinaki in security aspect, not just to to jump. I don't want people to misunderstand me. So basically, these traffickers knows this.
People are commenting. All the commenting they wanted in local language because they have a program.
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
program local language. So I see people commenting that please local language because
Tonyal,
you know, people log in to check.
Problem tal. Yeah. That's one better. One Tonyal. So no, it's very important. It's very important because mediam kan na molle. So abe kumaya la lengan na kangofo. O kumaya bata. So ngambing foten bro. Messi ngani President Barrow ngin ala nyin normal speech di mal min e ka safele ay na ya karang ay min ke kunung. Look, after nyin speech ni continue ta thing because ya lon ne mimbe ke ka jirak. Amen ke koy malo. Police oli ya lon ne, navy ya lon ne, government ya lon. You know, we file different reports and different complaints. So basically, ni sita for 31st of December hapunda. What tragedy hapunda? What more mean fata je? I agreed with Madi Jobate. What more mean fata jinaki? Wallahi Gambia government lackadaisical attitude la fata. Because yes, you know, but it's the responsibility of Mansakunda, Nimfondi Kelfrata, Hamo Tembeto, Faka Jari, Jetaye, Pampa, Blajono. Namasakunda Yanto responsibility them, Kajiko Kakuke or not. Munema Kabaka, Manevi Sol Kije. But then it was late. And Yalong Mimfong Muto Nyati, when Nevi Solao rescue. You know, Gambia is funny. New model they are funny. Janni to look at later. In fact, Janni Kulunga Utu, Ibrahim migration situation, Nadia Muta or Suto, I attended for more than 10 calls. I only can maybe like a call constantly. I mean, ala partner Andrea. Ye Gambia institutional more than the number of ye call Suto constantly. Okay? So, Ilabanta Ibrahim Manuel Labantaminkela was in the latest in the last intervention was to call Senegal Navy. Okay? So what in the Senegal Navy so daduntaje one nata wala nyam. And those people acted immediately. Kabiri Ibrahim Manuel communicate, what they acted immediately. But Dolla Molike called it 10-15 times, then they can respond to your message. Basically. So here Matufok Masimo Keta Equator rescue them. Gambians should be very grateful to Kulundingol member Suto Kulundindol Lebe Nye Failal, Jala Failal. Okay? President Barrow Fala speech colonel. What Jala Failal officer mentioned, one Latin than Yakulo Be Mamfa, Danaka Mobe Mamfa. Because those people rescued Walla rescue Sembo Water. You know, Navy you'll welcome for the time, not in a rescue cater. Basically. So, but Yinkata and Nida Kondaman Sakunda, you know, they are just reactive. They are never proactive. You know. It came out to the former Sibole. You press release or bondi, condolence, Yetam visit Lopano, Nafata or Lakotake. The accident get up. President Barrow ni benyin program o Jibeka. Now.
Yeah, Kanaje.
Now.
Dolka foleko ngaje ko ni
ndey
Antolia and Janibe Moyle looks like long. Hopefully Mustafa bin I technical code on them. Because Mustafa mila nyim problemo. Because Jama wotu ngaje le ni diamuta Ibrahim Magren diamuta ka foleko nyimu politicality wala nyimu misinformation, false information le. Wamira wole atinna il buki altol la mo fanyin kasaro katale fa pareta bari mengena grata kasaro kono wole kata sai yamira wole atinna fo masakala kutija manke ko ila carelessness or lackadaisia, but the problem ne mento ko yamuta political because momo diamuta ro ko be mam masakunda febo political yamira wole mu jam wole problem o jamba masakunda ko ko ya ke political.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this is you know, because our past histories, join the political economy like any other Gambian. Yeah, I understand. You like support also.
ya mire
ibe moy kan
ite log la yel
albe moy kan
mele ke moy bara kamele janimbe sura ya Aziz naka nga def welcome back welcome Geja Cissé naka nga def ñu ngi si affaire yi jafe-jafe bi xew rek si kasaara biñ doon xaar daal parce que lii nekkul ne loo xam ne la lu ees la daal loo xam ne la xam nañ ne matter of time rek la ñoo xaar ba kasaara yi gën a garaaw daal so
waaw
Ibrahima Migrant mu ngi war a join waaye moom mu ngi ji nag foog naa léegi Moustapha Ndoo waxa moom connection problème pour ñu isi ko waaye yaaya moom lañ amagum muy explain situation bi xaw ma na yow la nga xalaat ba yaa balaa yaaya dugga si waat
waaw jërëjëf Ndeye maa njëkkee si wis la happy new year
yes oh thank you yes same to you
li ñu dugga ni mu gënal ñu ren
amiin
mu gënal ñu at bi ñu génn waaye bu dee itam nar naa ñaaw yàlla na mel ni daaw maa ngi njëkkee di jaale ñi nga xam ne seeni mbokk seen bakkan des na ci this tragic incident di leen ñaanal yàlla yàlla xare leen àjjana seeni mbokk itam yàlla may leen xoli muñ ndax lii dafa metti torop surtout li gën a metti mooy suñ ndaw ñi ñoo ci des muy góor ak jigéen lii comme li nga wax la comme lu ñu war a mun a séentu la ndax yàgg na fee am te pour man taxawaay bi nguur gi war a taxaw même bu dee ñu ngi koy def fësaluñ ko nit ñi gisuñu ko kon duñ mun a understand waaye man lii dama ko seetee yeneen i fànn bu njëkk bi mooy interception yi am bu njëkka lan mooy outcome yi investigation yooyu fan lañ ci toolu parce que pour man investigation bu demee ni incident yu demee ni soo leen koy gëstu doo leen em si ñi nga xam ne ñoo jël gaal gi rek dem waaye da ngeen di dem beyond loolu pour seet ñana ko organise ñana ko sponsor ñana yeta gaal gi xam nga ñi dugga ci gaal gi kan lañ fay ana kooku ñooñu lañ war a target waaye bu fekkee ne ñu ngi only focus on migrants yi si seen boppa I don't think dinañ mun a stop lii waaye liñ war a laaj suñ boppa tey given li Sonko wax mooy ndax Gambia ci boppam am na capacity am na jumtuwaay pour mun a stop lii wala sax pour aar ñu parce que comme li ki explain ne since bi ñi pare pour dem am na ñu doon call pour reach to the authorities waaye kenn uyut imagine bu doon ne gaal gi
Ibrahima Migrant moo nekkoon di call
bu doon ne gaal gi ay rebel la eb ñu waroon na ñëw attaque suñu réew obviously nañ doon egga Gambia even balaa suñ authority yëg dara it also beg the question to say one ndax dinañ mun a defend suñ territory but ndax dinañ mun a prevent this kind of things but also ndax dinañ mun a defend suñ territory against any threat waaw xam nga that is the bigger picture bi nga xam ne tey buñ toogee war nañ koy seet
su ma laajee foofu rek dog la as a policing expert Aziz ñun am nañ nit dina wax ne am nañ ECOWAS seen troupe yi ñoom tam ñu ngi fa because li nga expliqué lii dafa wane ñun suñ préparé ndax pare nañ amee nit ñi dañ dee fii ne ñun safe nañ because ñu ngi am ECOWAS ku war a ñëw dugga si attaque anything lu war a xew dañoo war a lifin in that sense the fact ne ñu ngi call Navy di call obviously call nañ police call nañ this incident munuñ ko control this incident because du ma ne lu ndaw la waaye dinaa ne lu ndaw la soo ko xoolee in a bigger picture
exactly yeah
su dee lii ñoom mënuñ koo contrôle mënuñ te ñëw sax rescue su dara xew be yàlla tere and we need rescue. Do you think we are ready for that? Or is it that the government bi dañ decide rek ne lii politique la buñ ci dugal dañoo wax rek parce que duñ dee gom nit ñi tamit ne li ñoo wax dëgg la.
No, I think suñ seetee of course di nga ne amut a perfect security waaye li ma bugg a wax mooy soo seetee di respond time ci diggante Jinak ak Navy base bi is in Banjul, right? And Jinak and Banjul, Jinak is the closest border to Banjul than any other, Hana Ganao Bakaw ak Bar. The time it took Punyumuna Ega, Pumuna rescue ni leaves a lot of questions as to our state of preparedness, logistics, and our ability to prevent and suppress, but also our ability now, in the event of a threat coming, our ability to defend that threat. For ECOWAS, I think ECOWAS mandate is a bit different, but so say ECOWAS and BOPAS tools they are not capable of combating illegal migration.
waaye li ma doon wax Aziz mooy rescue situation bi parce que maa ngi gis ne xaw ma ndax yéen a ngi seetaan news bi laka-laka bi xew Switzerland Europe yëpp a jóg yóbbu seen plane yi seen nit ñi ñu dugga si ñu ñëw Norway sax ñun one of the best like born l'hôpital bi nekk Bergen ñoom sax dañ fly ay team yóbbu leen. So I'm talking about that situation yooyu noonu ECOWAS troop bi don't you think they would be also utilized in this situation because crisis situation lañ nekk.
They could. It is a humanitarian emergency.
Yeah.
They should. Why? Amun capability, amun the equipment. They are not trained for that.
Aziz, I'm just asking you because I'm not. Why as a security expert? Because I don't know whether you know Aziz. Aziz have been a security chief.
Yeah. I know.
I'm just trying to
senior man.
understand the thing. Aziz, foogaloon is politique boo dañ gis ñoom yaayaa ne ay politician lañ ay Ibrahima migrant ay politician lañ da nekk di yaxa dëkk turi dëkk bi ba pare ñoo bëgg a isin góor gi problème. Don't you think ne loolu moo gën a nekk than capacity here?
Yes, that could be. Why, poor man, beyond the politics, the reality today of the government is that among the capacity, but there is not also a consistent interagency coordination within the security apparatus. Each of them are doing their own thing separately. Otherwise, this is not the first time we Amgal Gujoge Gina. So obviously, after the first few interceptions, yan matuway lan jël ban agency mo jël the lead, and it can be multi-agency. Immigration can be on the ground, but also you can have police and intelligence agencies kind of going around to collect intelligence, trying to reach to the root cause of this problem, especially ñoo de organize Lee, because comme Lee is a syndicate. You cannot have irregular migration through these boats without somebody ko xamne mo koy organize. Kan moy captain gaal gi? Xam nga kan la nit ñi fay xaalis boobu? Ana kooku? Kan mo yeta gaal gi? Kan mo jënda gaal bi? All of those people, investigation should be ongoing in addition to others. While Legi Navy be knowing the fofu moy the starting point, and Hegnasa them nañ time being there the mostly goody. Why can't they station some of their patrol boats around that area? Here is the lack of coordination. Mun nañoo baña am all the equipment, but knowing li xew tey xam nga rather than ngay dem di toppa ay fishing vessel yoo xam ne you can never get them, why can't you focus your energy ci lii? The other question bi ñoo laaj mooy European Union have pumped a lot of resources into the country to address this illegal migration. As resources yooyu naka lañ ko utiliser? Xam nga it seems as dañ ko séedoo bu ñëwee either the director or the minister or somewhere dafay am a vehicle, a brand new vehicle. Xam nga all the security forces am brand new vehicles, seen OCC am brand new vehicles, branding xëy na benn vehicle ngay gis muy daw around the so xam nga ñu paint ko illegal migration just to impress the sponsors. But in actual fact,
the donors.
they are not utilizing those resources to where
Exactly.
they need to be.
And as a security again, Balamanyo Siaya, don't you think that policing, in terms of policing, Yahya and Ibrahim migrant are a good source of information and intelligence that the state could have put more funds, give them access to more resources to be able to bring them, because they brought something that government cannot even.
Yeah.
Even the European Union, I think the amount of information these two are bringing to the public, they cannot even. Don't you think this also should be a security in terms of security as well, to utilize these people? Parce que ñun fi dañ ko dé dégg Europe da nga dégg ñu na mairie niñ mëna mairie yépp ay police lañ, mairie yépp dañ dé report nit ñi. You hear those things here. It's the people who bring the information. You have two citizens who have tirelessly been working on this. Ñu ngi liggéey ci li. Foglo ne government waron ne, instead of criticizing, because I'll get Yaya to answer that, because the critique is this is politics and they are misinforming the public. Even though we know that is the case, but I would like Yaya to respond. But as this, don't you think these people are resources to security?
Very good.
Ingrant or misinformation, or even swing back on politics? What they are doing is very beneficial to the country.
Yes, I think these are huge resources the police can leverage, and they will help. Because these are people who they've already had the experience, both overseas and locally. They know the challenges. Soon decided to at least volunteer their time and share their knowledge. Definitely, authorities, they should be working with these people. But again, coordination that's difficult. And you need some kind of leadership in this. Medina bring about all these agencies. But again, we also have to look at resources. European Union and other agencies pump into the Gambia. Fund line could utilize. Are they achieving the results that we are expecting?
Thank you, Aziz, for that.
So that at least the Nanjema jail more action. Ragal na itam ne, there is an underlying political kind of something. Like you will see the young people saying, "Atol tatalal nata," so alafta kanto la chance tinya.
Yes, that is there, because I also
So I really don't know where the balance is, but lafta mem fola drogo government la effort that dasata back. And we could be politicized in terms of saving face at it. They should admit their failures, acknowledge it, and at least call for a national dialogue and reflection on this matter. During President Adama Barola New Year speech, moi ainin kuolu fo. Left anu mem moila. Ninkuoto wolemu ye mesos later, not only dorong we will manually and yinkembe nyine Kelela. No. They should give concrete measures to arrest this situation and not to react. Because men come and be prosecute or they will pay dearly. More reaction letting.
It's a rhetoric as well.
Yes, it's a rhetoric.
Miracle is just useless.
Yes, it's a rhetoric.
Yeah, it's a rhetoric.
It's just like someone saying, we have zero tolerance for corruption.
Yeah.
But nothing is done about it.
But it's the same he does with corruption as well. He said there are zero tolerance for corruption, but he himself dismissed the audit reports.
Exactly. So definitely, I think a national conversation is required. And for that to take place, government must acknowledge that there's a problem and they don't have the capacity.
And also put these people,
yes,
Yaya and Ibrahim, at the center.
Exactly. Bring everyone on board.
They've done a lot of work in this.
Exactly.
Okay, people have reminded. Okay,
but
they don't put Jamalek in court already. Definitely, yes.
But
back to Nyo Purnyo si Yaya. Yaya, mune muite fangola respond to iko nimu politicality. Mansakunda la side because it's kawole moy. Albe politicale kele nyi. Albe mole misinform la bari ngalong ko misinform wo. Already, yeah. But this thing going Mansakunda I told the politician all the I love the Mansakunda Letinyala, I love the Mansakunda Boindila, election now obviously was he gonna panic. We don't want to respond to you because I told vindicate already, but Munemala respond to all this time. I'll be worried like this people are saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Sister Ndei, and to the senior man, Assis also. Before answering your question, Assis, associate Kumadole Majang, which is very important. That is the collaboration of ECOWAS or European Union in order to support how they collaborate to support. European Union be la best can for African countries. Gambia alone, from 2018 to date, more than 40 million euros, either in cash or in kind or in project format, wale dunda Gambia from 2018 to date, 40 million euros. European Union with their partners. This is what Mimpomta Gambia in different project formats, all geared to one thing: walenka irregular migration onying reduce now and stop now. But bila mabela fakan katambinundu. Nibodo fananto, you come to ECOWAS. How can ECOWAS join hands to help? No, ECOWAS at this point in time, most of the ECOWAS countries, I will name them, Senegal, for instance, Mauritania, Morocco, they are all of them in one way or the other are receiving support from EU. Okay, Puruka la Coast Guard Sulfankeno. Walatina currently, from mid of last year to now, you saw Senegal intercepting many boats from the Gambia. Okay, Senegal itself from the Gambia. Senegalese are intercepting many boats. Likewise Mauritania too and Morocco, basically. So European Union signed a focus momenti, not at ECOWAS as a whole, or not. Gambia, in fact, has sadly Gambia in terms of interception, in terms of helping Gambia in capacity wise, for coming Navy support. No. Because yajela ko naman sakunda mantara do ko ke kay coming minka dung Gambia anem results ning are completely different. Mbening news dila lajang kap is bila be kala 13 days thing. European Union na intelligence sul de Gambia. Par Gambia masakunda fa malo. Currently, kabri last week, there are European Union intelligences. Okay, ibe Gambia, like a normal holiday makers, ibe records whole taken on this irregular migration. Simply because Gambia, yeah. So, one moment. Yeah, tell mommy I'm doing live program. So basically, this is how serious this issue is for international partners. ning international partners who say penko ki intelligence ki Gambia betembo mindo what intelligence is mimbe Gambia nta I talked to 2 of them young call acknowledging na dokuo anu ngal na ko yena partner Ibrahim migration situation parang ani be in contact le talking about yang na doku acknowledge and then yela mission of in one way or the other basically I'm doing live program so sorry na dinolwe ni stop so basically ninna ta ila jabiroto ila nyinin karoto with regards to fake Gambia man sakunda kanjela ko so definitely yes, seriously yes. Nabata, one of the biggest challenge that we are having Ibrahim Ntelembang is that they figure us completely ni starta ka diafon if on ga nyatol o ila lamoy nyatol ko ike figure has a politician or somebody who don't like Barrow or Barrow government or NPP. But currently, Ntolu, it's not about politics. It's not about voting Barrow out. It's about the youth of the Gambia. It is about the real situation, the daily life situation. Member Cake and Gambia. Okay? Ntolu nga lonneko na londo doyata migration kono nyaaw nyarande na faham ro doyata nyaaw nyarande sanji tang mbe kuo min kono luolum ale luolunda. Okay? Na lonneko Gambia mbetakan silo lami ala go befutala ni temboto wala tinna kabiri mid of last year in 2025 in bota kono ndeni Ibrahim we constantly kanyin Backway ko nyin because full of more camera nga promote le because ninga post but then e bukan understand is nga put le in social media pour man sakunda se bonda kalanda because ne man sakunda la agency te caring Gambia mi yalon ko ila number 10 tol bu waranto la number table mi yalon kon tolu ke consult nde ani Europe yang embassy ti yang Brussels lembang Spain lembang ibelem too I constantly engage them if Gambia dingol la matas natana constantly regardless of whatsoever is their opinion and Gambia government likewise there are ministers many yalon kon be in contact constantly engage them constantly ke inform this and this and this and that. Yeah, understand. We continue to do that. Ntolukan na part play. Even na longo it can get like we are the one putting this information out. Ntolle ke to kuya, ntolle ka mansakunda to kuya, ntoluka opposition wole support. Ani nga wolongo ikawole ikanjibe wonyala. Wo matin na hanibi. Ntolu man continue kana do kuke. Think about this. With all this situation going on right now, Ibrahim migration situation, I've been impressed with Bekono Gambia. Okay? I know because Taka Diablo almost every 30 minutes. I know this call, even be as a Manzakunda Molkuman. I tell a telephone, not them telephone calling him. I tell a telephone, ke update, Kakumul Fay, whether Yata Imat and Doka for a sign. No problem. Yendanguo, Iman Danguo, we will inform them and we will go to social media. Usually, one form we understand is then in the local social media. Okay? Nkanyi wole follow inform. Ibrahim usually then naka post okatara Navy calling fa batata. Na me sotola kana Facebook, can anybody help me with Navy's contact? Because I calling na message. Okay? So likewise, immigration right now, according to Ibrahim, let me understand the only institution, and that institution is functioning in terms of interception. The only institution me alonko ibakata ini Ibrahim communication or BTR, well, immigration department. Because according to Ibrahim, I need a director na ya waka call la call. But ajuwe kabiri wo collaboration o kete ini Ibrahim atema immigration department ka yeka kulun jamale mutan no sign. Before it can depart, before it can do njikon. Yeah, Niba organized now because Gambia no hatale, Gambian day killing. The intelligence in Gambia is super simple. Don't look information also coming computer use, honey. We are not using satellites. But in Panang, because meta no intelligence is also right now in Jinaki, more begele mi yalonko constantly, more full up, begele mi yalonko constantly in the Ibrahim migration situation ka constant contact. Won't be intelligence lady. Ibrahim Alege. Yeah, family. So what about the government? What about the police? What about the NIA? Well, how can they do this? Honey B na information no soto ko sate do beje kulungo be prepare kanje andun dol nyanda kaminke wala ke wala ka authorities will inform atuje to level fay be intercept la fay intercept la so ke kan dol jube ko politician o kan dol jube ko mo mem la fi baro man sakundala. This is something real. This is something me along abelarin kun kanne ma bono, you understand, but it's only affecting them. We continue to do that. Because one thing we know is that we are not government. We are not ambassadors. We are not, in fact, diplomats. We are not technocrats. One thing we know is we are just humanitarian workers working for the people and for the Gambia. We know that. We go to them. Italian told you now what to what information Italy carry on Yami, what to take level. But in Tolwala, we always proudly come to the internet and say Konganyim Pole. Waranganyin Savele, Waranganyin Kel, and Nugamen will be said the Ariwana. Ya understand. Nga Foleko, Nga Folefo, Nga Savele, Nga for authority Soleko, Nalema Wuli, December Kulugo Kubila, I said this clearly, because it's not a rocket science. I'm not a rocket scientist today. It's clear. You cannot look at thousands of people gathered in Jinaki. It's very clear. It's very clear. And because of the attention. All of us are trying to put Jinaki now on the code. So say smugglers will they start changing their operative. Now they are going to use all that villages, coastal villages like Bara, Taye, Guju. They are going to leave Jinaki for a while. So it's right time. Mansakunda intelligence is because we cannot continue to cry for this every 6 months.
Yeah, abarka baka for that. That is that clearest thing. Ko mol Gambia dingol fango ya lonne ko. Altol mantara politiko la. Altol be janne pour Gambia dingol ye. Albe ko membe ke la Gambia dingol le altol wulinde. Yeah, and after question dole nati la fananjang. Why is Gambia? Muna Gambia keta transit and in trafficking hub pour Backway la. Mune falinta over the years. Mune falinta. Mune mo. Mo memoy yaya mbuke moy sometimes Mustafa ka fo ni molie call ya ta ka fenkele al yaje assist yaya moy le dal abe nyin ko membe explain la back to you why is I do nang because ngalong login problem on internet do I don't know. You mune kenyimbe to yaya kanyimbe before. I say again back to you. I say sorry not to put you on the thing, but as a security person, as a policing expert, security expert, what do you think government should just do? Yaya is back. Okay. Asis, you are muted.
Yes. Yo yaya nata. Oto yaya continue.
Yes. So basically, so what I'm trying to say is
Mustafa Kafole ni moye call. Aka call off and
yeah. So basically, I like in question of Kumaya battle. Citing why Gambia become a irregular migration hub for irregular migration is the answer is simple. It's simply because our laws are too weak. Our laws, the laws of the Gambia are very weak. I would refer all of you people, and I would refer you all of you to go and watch Gambia Immigration Department PRO. I interviewed also with police department in the media house. During our conversation, I few points elaborate the Bataminkala Immigration Department coming ila Batakul. One point was important, very valid point. Wala miyintiko ni tolia kulungol fanga intercept. Ye nil arrest. Ye milial ye organizer soul or smuggler soul, ye detain, ye samba to ye di police custody la, ye samba kitiela. He said what usually happen is like near samba kitiela, because of the weakness of our laws, the court household fanang, they can make to charge them. So they will charge them based on the laws, the current laws of our country. So if they charge minna, are very weak. It will in fact some few thousands of dollars, because that's what the law says. So ikajele ko ako ikajele ko ye mo charge, ya samba kitiela kitiye tay ibuka worry, they know about this. And most of the sub-Saharan West African countries like yaje nyikulu mbeka bondi Gambia currently, Nintendo tata along ko eto be man, the owner of that boat, the main mafia amanke Gambia not. So economic is like now imanke Gambia not. Economic Senegal, Guinea and other countries. Okay, so ekakulunga sang, niya kulunga sang, ye masimo sang, ye fuelo sang. This is all what they have to do. So kulunga samina is less kulunga samina Gambia is a kulunkuto de dano le Gambia less than 300 to 400,000. Okay, ye masin kuto sang ye abula kulunkono ye ye mo nyini mi yalon ka ay komi ka nyin bano le nyini mi yalon ko nyin nyemutalal. They have their intelligences. Ko mo karibe nyin lawta nyemutalal yo samana yo nindi ye la fenkol organize. So bari ye cooking along. Okay, what am I going to go? An authority told me this from Senegal, because in networking war a battle. Thank God, after 10 years, Senegal, a senior Senegalese government official told me in one of the EU meetings, they are running from our country now to your country simply because legi ñun suñ tuyé gaay a fañete ni ñu surwa kan ñun suñ tuyé gaay dañ day yobu gaay straight ci prison bi. So bari ndolla problem minti is ndolle ka luwale tamandika and luwal min be they are very weak. So how can we solve that? It is if you check on my social media app, a few weeks ago I was calling the National Assembly members. I called their attention. It's right time for look, ndolla institutional reform lackadaisical act. They all know about this. It's right time the Gambia National Parliament also to introduce stricter laws. If President Barrow, if cabinet is not doing this, the parliament has every I understand this. The parliament have that right. Okay, yes. To bring stricter laws. Why? Suma why? More than the organized Gambia. It will organize it or it will smuggle it. Yes, I'm a mile too straight. Oh, they jail you for years. If ni oke mo fula sabala kulum sabanani lulula wallahi abetala balale because milka organize it wala samba prison ni muta so e ko kulum intercept Gambia le but ni intercept na kala banje they end of pain because e katala kitela yes samba kitela kiti charge few thousands of dollars and remember each of these molu milka nyin kulungo each of them minimum minimum is $70,000.
That brings me
to
that
70 calculate kulomi mbeta jinaki. Yeah. Kulomi mbeta jinaki 70 multiplied by 200. In 31st of December, 200 people back on. Multiply the 7, that's millions of dollars. So Nija Olumuta, he will charge few thousands of dollars and they will pay and continue.
Yeah, and last the jail about the financing. Traffic networking, aka open yamen Bangkok. Jamale can recruit, Jamale can finance, Jamale can protect. Because when you say that my blog was just going like, who finance them, who protect them, who recruit them? How does this network open? Jamale ka kodo bondi, Jamale ka kodo dila, Jamale ka ta mol niniye, Jamale ke isansang. No.
Currently, the smugglers are saying, this is not my word. I lost the correct. Okay, same thing. Fenkol de Mimfokang. Ani Omar Kamara reported that today too. Ndola investigation ole min betandina. Komi yemin folem. Nyel ka kodol soto. They earn millions from it. So 1 million sol mi ka earn fanang eka dile. Okay. Na report only attending clearly ko even Jinaki may be operate kanje. Like Jinaki is an island, Lord you'll be a hotel will be for tourism. Okay? Well Lord new hotel or signing, well it's like they are more expensive than Senegambia Hotel and Lodge right now. You know, because of these people. You know, yeah, understand. So there are certain reports which some Jinaki VDC community or community elders debunk those statements, but there are smugglers or people in Jinaki. They said that they paid Jinaki community elders to in order to be there. The reports were intended any beef and all Kamaran reported the same. So mbemim foka wala mnyintiko iye nyinko beje kodo min kasoto je amanke ko fana ika kudo bondele eka kudo bondi nyami ko be example do dila man tara janka jine kin kol accuse fenna bari coming investigation o le min tandi aning report o le min tandi wala mnyintiko aning min fo be jine ki sateto fay ka kawol la ba ni ka kawol ali ba la sateto because c'est quand même wala mnyintiko jine ki be tembo min to hotel ni lojo min beje because mo mo randi jinaki mo island old so jinaki has an island you know hotel beje lojo beje mo mo randi kata jinaki so hotel ni lojo min beje is mainly for tourists all min kata jinaki kata je visit has an island but because of new smuggling mi be kan je center hotel tielu the hotel ni lojo be farming immigrants all. Okay, so welka koni kodo lejo wodo so organizers who are paying thousands eka min joje has pa ila claim. Il a claim, not me. Il a claim ye min fontolier e kamim because ndolla intelligence begel and media household tata gel like kunum Omar Saibo Junior fact check office tata gel. So basically e kamin tandi wala min ndiko you know ye ka kodo min jonin du langoto is definitely too much. You know ye min fontandi wala min ndiko thousands of dollars le jo per night. It's just like Senegambia hotels who look more charging in the sign there in Jinagi. So basically, that's one part of it. And there are, of course, claims. There are claims. I na kulum na modolu di am tamé yalla koy dunta e la kulum dunta tubabu du. Okay? So kabiri dunta tubabu du ya fonye ko itolu kabiri la kulum kawdu police ol nata nanjel. But kabiri police ol nata nanjel, what happened was like organizing gave all police all hundreds of thousands of dollars bribe. You know, and then min nata na triple min nata na je kanao operation okay. Yeah, bulai tata. Yeah, bulai they continue. How did I get this information? Because milbo kulungo kono. You know, are already in Europe and they were able to communicate this message to us. Whether photo nte o say they are not. But coming nka information on this intelligence is on call the photo. So basically, yes, kodo ninka soto, kodo ninka ta, you know, of course kodo begin, you know, and you know this is a mafia game. So yalon ne ko ta million on min soto, it ni ko da mama be do mola. Ata kunne kono ko be da fono no dalte manya na ka fono da min. So basically coming is like by the way.
Hello, we lost you. We lost. Memo you koteke yeah. Yeah, nge lost le. Yeah. Hello. Memo you koteke dal. No.
Okay, mute. I'm mute.
But yeah, left of cooking. Yeah, yeah, follow ko luanying because of near samba kitiola. Ike fine men na fango buka ke fenti work bari hanibi asis fana ngala asis kuna janne fana ya dike nyega hanibi munati na yamira nyi network nyi mafia mol hanibi be operate kan imansila ko be aresla imansila ko be prosecute dolla banko to because ya fala ko Senegal ko ka fala ko ni ngemu rek sama prison maybe wala ke bori de na Gambia munati na yaje ko nyilien tol yaye yen tol yaye yaple imansila na police la imansila ko be arrest imansila ko be prosecute imansila fane they still operate.
Yeah. So because in Gambia it's too easy to corrupt a Gambian. It's very, very easy to corrupt a Gambian.
Yes.
We are losing you back and forth. Okay.
Okay. For Tonyalem is the weaknesses in our justice system. because coming in actual fact, Namira, to be able to effectively control irregular migration, manyan than just physical enforcement, there should be policies that strengthens our justice system. And also other policies that addresses the inequalities, youth unemployment, and so on. Coming in security, ntol believe tanyina ko criminals always janibe dunna in a criminal enterprise, they weigh the cost and the benefit. The cost in terms of pain and the benefit and the gains. And if the gains outweigh the pain, they will always involve in it. Adungamira ngawole jejan, because there are inadequate laws the justice system can rely on to sentence or to, punish the perpetrators. So obviously, if it is that, if they get a hold of you, you just pay 10,000 and you've already received maybe $1 million.
Yeah.
10,000 is just a pittance. You will continue doing that. In serious countries, sometimes when you have a phenomenon like this,
sorry, the more the complaint can language switching.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So, banko dolu komen ika crime kele nyaming, wole mu ika duwale falling. Like in US, biri lafta ka drug trafficking in ka combat. Ye loi dole bonde mea lonko fang, niye muta, mandatory sentence lem with no option of a fine. Your adwo mandatory sentence fana, you will have to serve a number of years. Janim fango meobela kuolu consider.
As is made up there, even Jamfango Norway, this was last year. The problem balance of drug quota. Ya jelo ko yalom border to in Sweden checking buka keje. Ya jelo ko gal ka dundi nanjele.
Yes.
Ikana andung labango kabriye control keje. Ya jelo after Christmas last year, December, ya jelo ko molka ta post office. Ika post in the post. Detect. So you strengthen. They came back again. Call the police also. If chief police officer not on the news, I explain code they are strengthening the law. Say the post officer saying, "Hani ifengol order if onka just like afo ko ya yelele ya seal koteke." You see this thing happening a lot of the time. So I mean,
ntola government ibuka wole prioritize adum. Police will fana buka government advice on that. Always it will le coming physical enforcement is the solution to everything. While physical enforcement is very important, some crimes begin that you need to strengthen the law. You need more policy around it to give more power even to the police and the justice system. In any country, the justice system must work hand in hand with the police because the justice system, especially the courts, they are also providers of security. They can use sentencing as a means of deterrence. In fact, government did that recently with these drifters. When they started to kind of strengthen the laws and be strict, it went down. So the same could happen for also these smugglers. But this is organized crime syndicates. And those syndicates, they invest a lot. Listen to Yaya Lakuo. They invested in the village because I cannot understand all of a sudden, a village witnessing a large population of immigrants in their midst without asking questions or without raising alarm. But it's very close to Tonya Kafoko. Honey, the village development committee fana benefited from it. Yo, the private hotel industry there fana ni loyal benefited from a boom in terms of migrants.
But as is mere point to the ronde, it's just not that shows the lack of the sluggishness of the security system ko. I'll see tell all of a sudden wrong, ali African migrants soldier in a Tori Soto, one town. When you what is the benefit there? From
exactly. And that brings me back to coming IMM even immigration officers benefited from it. Obviously. I can understand because understand no ni modu besi nanu yedu jina kono immigration makalamuta police makalamuta. When you have all the checkpoints on the highways, it also begs the question, where is our security priority? Na security officers yemune prioritize for kind of low silo kamobe gibe mila priority tiban for real enforcement, because ni wonte jinak as an island nimelul bitaje mainly ibebola silo le kan yeta aje yo bari ni bita silo kan coming. If you are driving through the Gambia, you have a lot of checkpoints, but just in the backyard some of these things can happen. Ibuka security. So where does the security mune prioritize?
Because as is no way time so do a big wave of Gambian soul so like Kabon Germany kana no way because ikafoko tai kodo ni awafi jang agena sheta jang ikakodo make jam bakele than other countries in Europe. And then influx. But the police all settled wrong. And what happened was that Ibekana Oslo City, center to town. Gambeno, ngo ibuka tanu wotu moje, ini Gambeno mambe. And near the Refan Kalonko, Nilmu Wafra, because it's not normal. Ikatara lorin dulalto. But then, what the police do, they intensify security. It's actually for all the bigger buildings, a bemu security. And they would do more malon for a documentary finted. All the building, the newspaper buildings all be a banning police solem. They went there, Kagambian soul, the drone you'll be dundi, Kagambian soul be forget, and Ike Park Olenya, K deport Gambia. And what time of Gambian or Kaful Kokari Lembole, Nilembole, what when they saw the documentary, then I understood the magnitude. These people were all over Oslo City and Oslo S. If fata Oslo City in Oslo S beleto, ye dula be so round. Gambian ol malo membe keri. Ike mutale drong, ike tek mutale patch, ye muta. Itebe do kole ba fala ko boy Japanese ma. Ibe ofana na bunda dato. So the police had did that to really secure. But
in December, the Department of Immigration came out to kind of share the successes they've made in terms of revenue collection. And Gambians were cheering. I made a post at that time to warn against that, because immigration ladoku manke to collect revenue. Immigration is a security service. Revenue collection is incidental to the security that they are providing. But the first priority and preoccupation should be the safety of our borders, the security of our documents. If they have prioritized that, one, they will be able to see we are having unexpected numbers of immigrants coming in. you should be able to track.
Sorry, again, back to the local language.
Okay. So bring you for what all coming co immigration malum for about 24 million. Yes, I feel like the figures are here. Kafoko revenue collect men collect atambita milio wuli kemelulu anin tanseni nani. Komen kaitan di kodali doku woleke. Itole nyine yiko womu ila doku woleti. Bante maaje wo nyama. Nte woni menke woni nyinti ko. Ninga ninkombe nyatili na kodola immigration kamen collect. And ninkombe target le dile la kwa nyanta nyine collect la. The danger is that it will compromise security. And immigration man lo nyinkama purka revenue generate. Revenue generation wo ba konole bari wo manke ila main preoccupation ila main itolu meye wulindi wole muka jeko kanyim banko tanka momo be dunana ye kusonso yale mo sifa menti anin ka jeko nembe na banko kayto dila memmen na fanasi ke banku dingoti adun salon ka di men nyine mu ila do koti isaji isin tanka molla me alon ko be mantora
anu nyanda la silo la le pour ka wakaito
exactly yo bari silang
ajele ko ka kaito soto jaman ke chakanti
silang komen nga menjete obviously we itandile ko ni mol fawol men kadun na Gambia immigration buka kataka long ikana munela ibe muntole kata muntole
andu mo jamale because some of them criminal ole mi la banko to already na janka continue o ibe nyinin kanela banko to yed bori na nuku jab because o be ka kele
ha bari silang mbadi nyomin kolu fana nyomi dinak ni mo
ya ibata nyomi
na alla dinak sonko ela moy alla ni yalo nyomi alla ko
la nyomi ko la
ha yaje biri etay wafo bula sila e bato fen ko le mut
Eko police on brada jina ke
so do bari na warata nyaonya niemo kemefula soto sate ukono within a particular period it should raise an alarm.
Yes.
Jina kin call for nyanta feel.
Yeah.
So the fact that Jina man alarm raise really validates the allegation they are benefiting from it. And
exactly
in an organized way where even the VDC is now having some benefits from this organized criminal.
Ye wole fofang.
Bari
kulu wututa. They gave an amount of money to the VDC.
To the VDC. So obviously
bari assisting alon ko Gambia no fangang ibuka hani. The moment luwa strigo dunta ye mo kilim pam ka ko jindile ma fa te bana de baraka jinde because Gambia no. But just quickly to yeah. Multi question or ask. Ninting as if in a wallet or I differently kafoko. Yilka 100,000 come as is 100,000 all le jo. Those are for bari nyisi business okay no Gambia. Muneka dindingol can you some because I have a musole bije ke ba fa ko don ni dingol le kata. Muna mu yinti munatina.
Yeah.
Mune atulia mina mune ka mol samba ya lonko ibe fala le fa
exactly
Europe janne ndo be seri no janne sumu ya membe kerin sainjang suno membe jang hani na bongo ni nga hitafa nzi firisa ama foko ye finti banta anu ka ci dol men jey ka men du wo man ke winta jang
exactly yeah exactly ka dun ci mano ya bay no
I had to come back to put warmers and real winter jacket.
Yeah.
It actually amira atul sitala amira kumuna ni mol can you restart ko yalon ko the chances of dying is higher than the chance ibe balula poverty lembang fodron imam hope to talk because mol ka fole ko
yeah
because ya jele say molbe fala do ka foko isi nyin ko do use no le do ka foko ni European molbe fa because kale ka nyin hada nyo so I think you mune kara nyin ko nyin problem
So basically ning migration or Carola, yes, there are push factors. Or push factors wala tinna mo jamaka maybe mbak pola so ne anteng pro mo jamalo sa understand mo especially mbam anyol nim famanyol okay yalon abeta rana hanin sa indron man sakunda la sobe ya baliala miyati nambe wo fola nte buka man sakunda bani ko be ko I always have my reasons, my genuine reasons for that matter, because Yenyimbeje, Ming Belakring Gambe is about information. You know, the mentality of Gambians currently is that if I don't go to Europe, I cannot make it. You know, what mentality it an intenda matter of falinola because ni te fonko it an intebo ko kelela e ka jele control la fiena. But Mansakunda is supposed to be strategic. You know, it's a strategy also to know ways and means. Kajeko, you know, ila banko la funding kelu, ila banko la funding kelu, ye nyalo ila banko kan. But wale te Gambia, fenne te Gambia, na molu se nyalo mimfang kan. Basically. So, nka mimfang kufoko dokuo business o here and there. What is dokuo in Gambia? Let's put it this way. Gambia dokuo. Mansakunda Gambia dokuo o muneti tichaya Gambia dokuo muneti nosia Gambia dokuo muneti policia Gambia dokuo muneti sojaria fire service. You can count them, very few, you know, because the other things solo electrician or lamba plumber lamba wolmu ifango kundi wala matolet. It depends. It depends on, you know, for your contractors or for my contractors. And we definitely know Gambia, you know, milka mecho karanje professionally. Kwami nyim plumbing ninyi electricity or mansia. Nem nata wo teacher ya ni wo nosia ni wo policial men fanka fay. Look, some of us were civil servants. I for one, what is always, you know, difficult for people like me. I for one personally. Ntenga teacher ke Gambia sanji kendanan has a qualified teacher. But in a basic salary, Ntebe Gambia time moment, na basic salary as a qualified teacher was just $2,500. Basic salary as a qualified teacher, $2,500. You know, then you have other incentives all. But any yellow incentive soul be kafunyoka, incentive soul everything. In those days, it was $6,000 or mano. I'm impossible. It was six as a teacher. And then teacher mantra for ka order institutional demote. No, but teacher le salary police come. Teacher le salary be soldier come. Has pa government pay scale. Medium ka karol. You know, so ni o juve ning teacher ka osoto. Soldier ka jele soto, police ka jele soto. So ni war is not sustainable. Woman mo balundi Gambia. Yes, ngalon ne ko after cabinet to Gambia 10 years salary increasement okay. But then those things contributed to it. But any no salary increasement or sustainability is still not there. More look coming sort of be and then the living cost is completely different. You know, ni more than $8,000 sort of salary be, you know, I man bottle is 2,000 plus, you know, then transportation of carbon has a teacher, transportation of time carbon dintebe dam to Costa Rica school has a teacher, I need to pay $10 to and for $20. Neo what the Malaysia salary. You know, coming transportation and food at school. So at some point I said to myself, no, Nying is not sustainable. I cannot sit here with this. You know, I find my way. That's how so think about more milbe Gambia millianonko na sister. Ebe fari ekajima darasaldo. Nying Arab Islamic Institute school also. Okay? And drop out solo. Not only even that, before Jamela Taimo, credits to Jamme. Jamela Taimo, ni graduate from college, straight, you know, 100% you are guaranteed for a teaching job. Ni graduate from college. Okay? Ni graduate from university, 100% you are, as a graduate, you have a job in Gambia. But today, Gambia College Kajole, Indifika Jole, Purieta Gambia College, 1, 2, Nijita graduate, they are graduates from Gambia College, they cannot even post them to schools because they, you know, there is no job for them. Basically. Yeah, understand. University, how many university degree holders in Gambia are there without no job? They get into entrepreneurship and stuff like that. Coming back to Ekakodo Sotonyaming, Yalong, sensitization Malayalam, and in mentality. Okay, most of these people in Kodo 70,000 make in Gambia. So among Kodo Jamajama. It's either Ibamanyol ni Famanyol mentality. You know how many people call us Kanyin Gasid, Sila Yamale to Abdul ascending Umako Kenodin. More about Foleko Niso Bembulu. You know, they will call some of us Nisola Bembulu, Kenore Bembulu. You know, now, in fact, now the common thing is Susuo. Some of them will tell you, me susu lo kono ninna o susu mutadro me 20-30,000 sotara ko di dom en nakena kare be na ko dindin kare be gel ndol wafila ngala nyinka ndi moita. So basically there is a strategy from the family side how to generate that money. Yeah, understand. So it's not like how they no. Funding kel katare matamato ke kan yela function 10 15 20,000 o gadano okay e ba manyo la katara susu ko no e ba manyo la kata bana baniala kanyel wat every day ko do kafunga bu ka di wala kata backway. So yes, it's so ukono mi kaje funding kel kajo jama most of them is from their parents or most of them from after some of us in the diaspora many alonko yela kodo dira mola is either yata ya yusa kundo ite ye kimine ta kelot yede kodo joje ya kalabi adu denya na and then sometimes they influence us also to pay for them. Sometimes they influence some of our brothers and sisters in diaspora to pay for them. We'll make a kele. Yeah, understand. So these are some of these setups. Mi alon ko mol ko kodo so nyaming. So and what a stop la min se nyin talano is to change the mentality of our people. Ko Europe, the greener pasture min alkam nang mo kam fugo kat ko Europe ko do be jele Europe do ko be jele. Wo Europe mum 15 years ago lati. Among 10 years ago for because I don't know made to I don't know time you can say that there were a lot of opportunities available. But currently, because of new migration, because of the Ukraine war, because of so many factors in Europe, okay, every day European politicians are thinking how to make strict up laws and policies. Look, kalua bambandingol regulation bambandingol de dano pour control min fa be kan brukduwa. Talkless of milk around Kutak. Every day, European Union is sitting near Juve. Migration is at the center of it. Yeah, understand. So it can regulation ka so for namono mandi long. For Masakunda, but Ndejandikana. Yalo one thing I will memim for la Gambianoli. More especially Gambia Masakunda. If a mistake let me tell you. Gambia, I know this because Africa Banku Jamal sign based on migration work. Near migration of Gambia, Metembo, Gambia Masakunda mistakenly be making. They leave migration entirely. Okay, unofficially, they live entirely in the hand of IOM. What is IOM? International Organization for Immigrants. And that's not the job of IOM. IOM is an international organization. They have their operations. IOM ni be do ko fongola o ini be program ko no de ila messaging ni ba fola e ka safele e be min fala jama. Okay, so if government near you Gambia program will make a migration karo, and this is where we are getting it wrong as a country. IOM should not be at the forefront of migration matters. Gambia government should be at the forefront. IOM be a playing partner. That's where we are getting it wrong. Thank you.
And love them even handing to the time Europe was even difficult to even get a job. Yemen Karang is difficult. Until I do co-sign, I work on directly on dealing with migration, not migration, but migrant job. And I'm telling you, in Norwegian, we have hundreds of immigrants, highly qualified. I'm not talking about because I don't work with immigrants who don't have. You have to have a minimum of a bachelor for you to come to our program, and then we try to get you a job. Every year, we have hundreds of people applying.
I know.
all over the world, immigrants will bail because in fact majority are European, even jama. Minimum they have bachelor. These are people up to doctorate. They're struggling in this country in Norway to get a job, some of them relevant job. And assessing their CVs, looking at where they should get a job. Jamal say employment. So just like you do, I go to policy meetings where you because jobs are there. Employers, you go to employers meeting, tell them that open the door. You need this. So even for highly qualified
exactly.
You are an immigrant is difficult. And then say come for them. Europe, Ukraine, before Ukraine, the fall of the Berlin Wall and all this Eastern Europe affected also jobs because now we are doing the jobs our people used to do in Europe. So they don't need us anymore. So this is where the dilemma is between
Exactly.
And just to say, what do you think? In the next 6 to 12 months, situation in the next 6 to 12 months, immediate action because
so Sister Ndeye signing Minyan Datake from now on is that and Tolu has a country, okay? Naman sakunda ani agency solu nyantale nga strategy fali, okay? Ibuka fo moli alkata Backway dorong yeda woto. Ibuka fo moli ko Backway ka fa mole fa yeda woto. Ibuka fo moli ko eka mol deport na ne yeda woto. Man sakunda ni agency sola ila response mechanism should be far beyond that. Niko mole ko kanata Backway. Niko mole ko Backway mol la kapaje. Show them other alternatives. How they can still make it to Europe without going to Backway. Mbemi fo kang mandi kang wal mi diko. Niko mol alkata Backway, alkana kunolta, alkana ta ni Libya la. Okay? Woto ning tolibo fo ko rama sakunda do fo kang. Woto nyanta ka sila dole kandila man sakunda nyanta ka sila dole kandila. Legal pathway wala misilol mi yalla ko regular way sol is a visa to ano nyamin kadunno tubabu anu nyimmanke ko kudi mi yalla ko is like a collateral amang kolea ning ayatara naman sakunda so beyata naman sakunda pareta pour molier makoy nte kundingo damma amanke fam voti na office member jang we work on labor migration nka labor labor migration nka molle makoy nili yalon ko ila fakana hanan jang nge guide nge council through regular means for ye nano to babu ye nano jama to be specific, okay, on different programs aka work like yes some get rejected because of documentations and stuff like that. What is normal, bureaucratic stuff is normal. But in man sakunda, ning agency say okay no, ning one individual say okay no, or institute say okay no. Man sakunda can do far better than that. A classical example is Gambia nga sano tombon nenundo mandindro between Gambia and Spain unfotal. Nga sano tombon nada for sanora. You know, and this Spain tema. Ato nyalende ngo damo minister mimbeje to ato nyala abolotal no bari ndey abolotal because so time minister mimbeje Baboucar Diouf ñomi ngolem abolo so yo Spain dino jele was a big was Spain dino was a big win for Gambia, okay, was a big win for Gambia. In a Gambian nu yalang Gambe san ento la masakunda itolo ko ku karosle wala ya politicize or they just want to make a name out of it. Yeah, understand. Gambia janni kabrin Spain na president onata nu Gambia, okay, amam dang Gambia damar atana nu Mauritania le Senegal spending Bankudolibe, African Bankudolibe, Dilo Konole for past 4 years, 5 years. Countries like Senegal, they will Dilo benefit for the past 5 years. Okay? Mauritania in Gambia, Labanta Dilo Nikon. Mauritania up to today is working, but Gambia destroy the but how? Simply because labor migration is possible because yalom being generation also mota for no banko dingole ko kana attack. That's the mentality. Except until Niemako no falling. Nemo falling no, you cannot stop them. So for ye avenue so killed. So spend now deal was good, but in the monu ila strategy ila nepotism aning ila fengo fenka political dadu liye wole otinya. I roster le dilo ni approach. Nte fongo le ning labor department diamuta nyikola. Kabiri wo dilo announced the first thing has a migration expert. Nye call. Now roster you're going to miss this. Now roster coming ka mol samanan baro in the name of Baroman Sakunda mol samanan tuab. You're going to miss because I let someone etita. Nilo single to you have to make soko alia la pilot facing, alia recruiting, alia more recruit la alia time to how to recruit them. You know what kind of people because this is the pilot phase. Nim pilot phase nim collapse ta boita. Moti ta koteke. You understand? I gave them my opinions and my advices on how they can operate. But it may not correct what time. Minister Lembang, I'll have Director Lembang, Permanent Secretary, because of the name, Ministry of Trade, Minister, whosoever, it's just the name. That so-called thing. A roster, a more recruit, a more do. That's the truth. Because the press conference, the Minister of Trade, was part of the people military in Spain. Think about this. So the minister drive for the year. Know that permanent secretary in Dokoma or Bitam Beyel. Know that the whosoever there. So basically, it's just a simple logic. So more Tata, around 30, midway Tata, I think only 6 people came back home. Was 6 people on the phone? Mil Satan as near Jube, Jube, Babake. Man say now because again, you So basically, what a day, understand. So, but the same thing can you go to you really have to from by process. By process. Molle can call that call Latin. So I'll come with that. So from a legal path will create. Nimma will create. And there are so many ways, sometimes. Like example, like getting kind of officer create, na case study like Ghana, Rwanda, and Uganda. Nkela molje jambake mo especially musolo ni bendenke nyinga watamo medo gola refugee council ina raje ngenyi ni ina tatu babu nyaade because ngalo ngol bandani Backway ina raje nyaade. So no I was taking those records and those stories on how wolnata na nyaade. So in this country so na the partners so nyinije to do certain case studies kajube welcome program sifa le use to kanala njam. In 2023 I started in 2023 I started with few people. I walked up from Gambia to here. Kabira Botawala, I continue to support people in that way through our office. So government coming ila demano for because most of these people are master's degree holders or whatsoever. But it's sad.
I remember Sida Jata Natano Allah Jamani J. And we interview Ning Fenko interview and Ning MP Solment at a killing. Atata jele ani jaman sol kachata foi agrita ko ibe nyindi ningol mutala jele skills dealer habri si dia mutala report back to President Barrow iman sona fenkele je one of the MPs kabringa nat jamba nyini kala ako tata Barrow function ne dankula on this issue. It was just Barrow to sign this document so that Germans can keep some of these people and give them skills until banko is settled. Then ya jube foi be murla foi te muruna. Ning MP ako kole ko data nyininka again nyinko ya jubele foi decide le foi aside ako boro ko ajela anya MP nya
exactly.
Something me alonko
no that's it.
Media tata jele MP sol tata fo je ini German sol negotiate ko dini ngol because the German have this skill thing malo alka fo nyame kan yeah there's this skill program they have even Africa you can come and
House
do
building.
they have
House building.
yes so we have all these Gambians that need to negotiate
Educational training.
yeah the project they did even in Spain Gambian Jamal bi je meta sa Backway la je government should have all start negotiation from that end even fango so we'll regularize and then I move again. But I think then I mean everything they see it as politics because yeah, you talked about the short term, but what is the long term for now? Long term. You talked about policy. Law nyanta falindale, policy nyanta change sentencing nyanta change. You talk about those things, and those things obviously will long term thing or anything have to go through parliament and all this process. Kudo ye mune mira, wole nyanta kila to stop this or to reduce it. And then
scientific, what we need as a country is honest conversation. The shortest thing the shortest road we can take right now is the entire country to agree that Backway is dangerous. Not for our government alone. Let's put government aside. Molu should agree that Backway is a tragedy. Na Molu minka fa Backway.
Because we still haven't have government to declare this as a national tragedy. Because first the government has to come. A local in national crisis. National tragedy. Janning abeduna mol kono again because to say that adwata nyawanya it gets into people hani mero lim paring lo foko he bari yemata kudaya memfo yarfan kasaro le mint they will pick it and then it goes there. What do you think about that? Because Mambaro speech but from assist ama declare as a state of tragedy or state of emergency or a national disaster.
No, I mean for Dranko he is very sorry for those people who lost their life, blah blah. Barrow's statement as usual. You can predict it before I read from. So basically it's the same way. But yes, Mansakunda should stop downplaying it. You are very right. They should stop downplaying it. Dr. Ismail Sise should stop going to media houses downplaying this tragedy. This has nothing to do with Barola win in 2026 or Barola losing vote in 2020. It has something to do with Nafonikel member Fakam. So let's forget about it as a political format. More Lufanan society. Let's Molu encourage them. Look, near Kulumoi. Ye mo may ba organize kay ba fokang itala for authority sole will make an article. Yalang Gambian's mentality. In fact, you are saving life. Yalang we should stop this mentality ko as a keno be dunale. Hedna didn't succeed. If you succeed, it's a keno as a keno, that's your mentality, that's your thinking. When we tell a mirror, alabena min kele ma wolo. Niwo kulu wutu lauta kupita ite min fon bota kalamuta ma fo wallahi da fo mum wolti mi yalla ko you play a part in that. So please sometimes na video so ku buka nu nil ka organize na satellite na city solto na liya moya ba announce la ali please ali more inform nita marite ku keno la je more inform secretly katandila ko nga kibaro sotol ko nyin kar be ke kay blantol we are so imagine la ko the more kulunga min stop the more the numbers will reduce min near to lado it have been stop nola but at least more to society and it's right time system day alkalo nin PDC lu nyin ka organize la satel to ikabon jama mol kabon nin kalamtal because nin smogla solde nyin ke kan e ka cordale luasi o e ka dulale lu ibuka gambe ibuka mo mabo wulo kono de e ka cordale luasi o ye dula luasi rent mi yalon ko e ka mol samane ke dundije wallahi ni movement je ka mol je ka finti ka du mol ka finti ka du cordame gono mol mi yalon ko e melo wo sateto e melo wo konyo kan definitely itala may nyanda ka boddo ka sa keno kule be ke kanja ni ma hani ka taje may woto mo police ol command o immigration officer command fa ko nka mol jele ka dunje ka findi bari mala ka dunje ka findi munel basically as keno wole ku kotenoje bari molu manyan naka sidoron ke dey si sa mo min be fa kan nyim Backway it's too much, it's a tragedy
ika moy dol ka fo nyine ka mo ma ko ka ta Europe ika wol fana moyle just jama bu kan nuku ika moyle ka rele ka mo ma ko
Yes, you know, because Ika proud alal fang, Ika proud alal because wala ka ke multi me alam ko they are receiving so many money from this. Basically, wala ka kodi bal muta yung kuol kon. So Ika proud alal mol de kalong ko karbo ko do so to kanel sai. Ya family. E na mari fang ya kuma society ko na abe sa te min do mol ka jala ko do ala life ka change nyami rapidly. Basically, because of the thousands of dollars sold min ka tunga dunka block on every day. So please, we should not allow any ina molem. Yes, now understand sometimes in the society the family norms, values, so it's more report. But it's your report is better than more kemen thing, more kemen thing near to back or me along motive fragile abadan. So I think this would many fola ko na molu alkalolu VDClu na alfalu na community elder solo funding kelu na liya moy daw dalanding waral sobita alka molje ebe kafuka nyokan ebe naka nyokan alma mol min long alke du nyani fidinya korna ko o tundo kan ala ko report na altol man ku ke no jala ko report so that ko nse nyin number ni reduce no nyami wo mu kulet mi yalon kon surata wala babaka adun du labelem tu
Mr. Sonko
because nyin ka wutul label
ko winter time be woli to babe ka black ice le abiba
alkamwele ban ndey
yes
okay Mr. Sonko la kacha diata
yes yes même ka
ay même fo comme ko men kamolu saba ke du nyin ko kon wolem di pool factor the push factory bari there is a pull factor me alon ko fana wo be tubabu adu ngany biringalla moya la ke akamuntam fele komen gambulin be nyame karteo be nyame ne gambulin je maybe ni mo keme be karteo la kilin ne ka gagné bari mol ke nyalo wo kilin wala gagné wala ibuke nyalo mo tan kononto nin kononto la perto malon fo ya jele ban because media mo ko ne konye ko gambian ko dole fana fango
absolutely
yani alon ko successful tay tata you were communicating with them wala story ikamem fo nyindoli hanin tare man fem fo bari the fact that yin silo try tata yin modolu ba mirale ko be itata nyamen maybe
itata succeed
so adu wo karola asembo warta ba katu muneka ke wo mol men nata na try idunta tumodo fan ikatara refugee cample ike balundi maybe once in a while every month ye demand stipend indila o stipend ngoli kamen kafun dolu be je se sifo maybe after 6 months ay 100 euro kinan bari la molu wo kontan wo kamunte fele ko nye guli jamale fe ha be je la trial fa ni watin dum ko na demanding kinan ako nga suduwal yaje womu pool factority me ya lonko is very sad adum malum fo be a communication strategy sotola around that o strategy nyanta kela muneti nye mune alie mune spend ni mari kuntu alie men spend akuna anaka men kina what are the balance but it molbuka o calculate the itolu because this is euro now adu maybe 100 euro or 200 euro after maybe 2 years it may depends on camp kono ila o stipend ngol dajale fay ke 200 euro ti yo kinan ila moli amira ko kubalem yaje wodal abala fa warta the other thing left mem fola about the solution is that fonga na education fonga a revisit ntolu drop out all siata skills training
for sure
prioritize nte menje bankol men serious tay lafta ka kututey will yemen prioritize ila education to more prioritize. By B, to la education system menti, the brighter ones will go and do maybe political science, lawyering, international development. The less brighter ones will look at engineering, GTTI. And a country cannot be built nimman good engineers. Ntolla Canada jang. The brightest brains will look at engineering. The brightest brain will look at to IT, information technology, will look at medical. But Gambia is the reverse. When you fail, what later at GTTI? You cannot acquire the skills men in Yantakele to be employed fully or seriously employed. Ye EU kodol menta koika vocational centers le low throughout the country. They are pathetic. They are not well resourced, capacity teje. So in the end, come yemen for niko gam mole ko alisi jangal be kutu tela jang. It is very difficult. Walana, to this point and to your point, the Gambia government needs to declare irregular migration a national disaster. A national disaster. Mea Lonko requires emergency measures. That requires emergency measures. Mea Lonko, it will not only be limited to enforcement, physical presence of people, but policies around the justice system, policies to address youth unemployment and youth employability, capacity building. Men's atina handin tarafana in the youth data, they will be skillful there. They will participate in the economy.
Yeah, and thank you so much. Just quickly, there is the veteran journalist, Mr. Aliu Famarasanyang. He commented that I just came across a post that the Alcalo of Jinak Island has issued an ultimatum that intending Backway migrants there must leave the island or face consequences. And Mr. Sanyang is saying that he believes that the Alcalo should know who reside in and is a visitor in his village. So he should have known people coming there for the Backway journey, just as he knew that Jinak Island is being used as a transit or embarkation point of irregular migration. He should have long ago reported to the immigration and police that the island was being used for that purpose. What about the canoes anchored on the island are being used for trafficking in persons? One is also that both the Gambian and Senegalese allow that to happen. For surely they cannot claim that Jinak Island is used in this manner. Used to them. The bottom line is we are not seriously about fighting people smuggling and stopping the ongoing traffic of death of people in the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, this is veteran journalist Mr. Aliu Famarasanyang, who was just commenting on the
I completely agreed with him. I completely agreed with him. All what he wrote is the fact. All what he wrote is the fact. You know, look, it was not a secret to the Alcalo, neither the VDC. That is why people tend to believe what they were alleging, that they were receiving thousands of dollars from this per boat. You know, maybe it's true, because look, it has happened kind of covering November. You know, mid of October, nying trend kumasita in Jinaki. You know, kulungo miwuda Jinaki is more than 10. Kulungo miwuda Jinaki alone is more than 10. Okay, so basically, it's like Alcalo was aware, the VDC chairman were aware, media houses went there. In fact, for Nitaraje, you don't have support from the community. It's like they can easily attack you. I sent my radio station manager there to go for it, when they are, and again, another international media went there, they were nearly beaten. Okay, so it's like, and they don't have you don't have the support. Yeah, Usman Marong, Usman Emaro, you don't have the support basically. So the Alcalo Lembang, BDC Lembang, they all knew this was happening, and of course the Gambia government. In fact, from police Olu were informed. They said,
immediately
with him, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. And what is your last message? Because
You can continue.
You have very busy boring also trying to get information solving this problem. Last year,
exactly. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So my last word for Gambia government: let them take irregular migration with seriousness. You cannot continue to make na last word for Mansakunda wala munyintiko left yep migration with seriousness. You cannot continue to use migration in a form of having projects and money whilst you are not acting as a government. Secondly, Molu, second to man nanjol nim baba nyol mili alan ko ke dingol bula nyin ko masilo kan. Mili alan ko wala ke la kodo dundi dingol kunto. Mbetembo minto weda tinyatale, weda European weda be sangara rimbakel, be sumi ala kono, be wintale kono, ba nyimba jiyo be karawri mbakel. Nalu malong sal kalam tandinyin ko, kulungo puro ay dung, ay nyimba jema puro ay dung, ala chances are very limited. So alukana ludingo lubula nyinsilo kang alkane support nyinsilo kang. To the community elders, not only Jinaki, Bara, Tanye, Banjul now, Kunung Kulundolo Flata from Kunung Kulundolo Flata in Spain, Kunung Damma, 2 boats arrived in Spain. One departed from Banjul, arrived in Spain, another one departed from Bara. Okay, so all fangasol mi yalonko kulungo kabondije jama na nyimbato satel to Bara lembang, Banjul lembang, Jinaki lembang, Brufut lembang, Tanje lembang, bato kung mafola albeko sate molu na liye molu ji alla sate to almamil understand almamil long koy bod alla sate to ijama balu al report di authority sol isaje ko ngani ko stop no because ñi be ka organize na sate leto ni be man sakunda blem lal ha bari benna molu fanan commande la ka tandira ko fombe sonna le bang fombe silale ka jenna fondin kelo e kalo katu filila tendorom kari wo kari nza moy ko mimbe ka kan namallo be na jende ko te nga fale ko kulundo boyta albe kibar do me la ko ta kate me la bake ndele nyim wuli ya fanam fale meta ya marol di dalla meta na suggestionol di dalla nyim bato silo ka bondi gambe kata fa Spain agaraw batal kulungol min ka bondi Gambia munyin babar kulungol leti e ma wo kulungol be da pour ka molu samba e ko kulungol de dale pour ñe mutaram wo kulungol mo pour banjunu bara kulungol dorone wo kulungol manke fankas kono kulungol so ni ya la fondin kedu ya la dingol brandi wo kulung kono ke samba wallahi ni fra Spain ala dorne frande bari go kulungol wati ne mam frande ala dele me sie banje bari be tembo minto fondin kelu ala al hakilotu tamasilo diata tubabu man dia metembo minto tubabu tol min fawbe tubabu jamal be tubabu bi metembo minto halka jamaaje kan nyum fake na talol ke social media and other stuffs wolle fawbe stroke kan katambal tol tubabu nun to ma na bi ma man killing so mbalu tentu la mbalu jeyla alla
we lost him. Aziz Munebekelela, last message or your message to both Mansakunda Fanang and Molmen Kata Fanang because Ninko Dal a ko manetale.
Yaya kumo be bande. Nyantamen fola wululali awo fole na society nte lafta men lafala je doron wala mu comme masakunda nyanta simfal mentala pour ka nyin ko nyin kele folo comme nga fo nyamen fo mansakunda e sonko nyimu albalaleti men itolu damata doku nola wala ita malo mba fola nyamen dal ajaran wala fo ini molie doku okay fo wo recognize fulanjango in terms of policy especially national security policy mansakunda nyanta menkela wole mu inyanta e policy soto la meya indicate ko nimbanko dingolu mo talulu niyo tuta wala hani mo muani lulu womu e disaster immediately yo bari nin kule mu meya lon ko is continuous like we are seeing sila womu national emergency lete meya lon ko they need to use emergency measures pour ka address fonga wo recognize because within this short period within this month banko dingol men niyo tuta nyinkono is almost closer to 100 woto government la law nyama nyankela only to just send a press release. They should set into motion emergency measures and in disaster management measures immediately. So what kind of policy woluman soto adum ni wolumanke we cannot be able to deal with this adequately. Otombe mobe danila barinde mbe tentula bake nyin topic ngamira nga diamu awato la adun ta banno la bi ningse yaya sotono on other programs abebete ala bak purayna nga nyin kulu kacha be la moy lalu be tentula be tende fana tentula katu ngalun ko nyin ko nyin amuila sulolete na fem fo jam fana alama molia moy nin hakilola alama barka dunna je fana
amin amin Aziza barka bake ya be fole fana ya be for and yes agree tale maybe we'll bring Yaya back and maybe Mustafa abe busy na mandun nang bi bari maybe in MP sol fana nati melbe responsible la nyim policy call to because Yaya policy call ma janne maybe we bring them isa jenga wo fana call clarify ka jube police ñol be kala ñaadi le pour ka ñin trafic sol fanan fenke maybe fanan immigration office fanan nga jube PRO sotole ke fanan invite jangi fanan le na ye na mol explain fanan kam mu ke pour ka ñin fanan so because fom be kacha because fanna jamale bi je bari fom be kacha fa preta man sakunda ngalon sometimes it's difficult pour ke nati jang because one would have expect Minister of Interior or somebody from Interior la PRO maybe ke nati jang ifanale na mol fo man sakunda la side ibe menke la bari ngalon ko ka kolayale bari nyindol MP sol ke wol soto nole maybe fanan immigration we haven't tried but za try la PRO pour ke nati na ko clarify ibe nyinke kanya because diam wato sitale say nukun tije nde lafta même fula doron ko ka itani man sakunda nyi manke politikoti because koku niya muta wato wati ni la banku dingol diamuta yake politiko de ni massive sifale kake because akatale to a point for ifongo buka nukuno akatale to a point for ifongo buka fono politiko because mol buka je ko politiko katu mo hadama niol wole banta jang gambe dingol lebe bankan gambe dingol niol ka bank anu ni mu mal baleti fang nga si fonna banko yake trafficking center ay gambia man lom fenna namanke drug center and in trafficking center mu malu baleti ndol because ndol gambe non tol ngamira ko mbota nun janne de nga remember years back wotu monte man leave Norway fang be leave no Angleterre kana Norway o one of the police officers chief police inspector fango abantale ke babal fang atele ya foko wotu mo batata gambia dingol bulu wotu mo drug wa fo drug yen tol wole la jang oslo ni ko gambia no drug wo time abe during yaminol drug dorong drogo be fenkere atata on the news ako any Gambian womu potential drug wafiality hani Gambian no mema wulu memba ba ma konoto wo fongo mo potential drug direct ndata demonstration la Gambenol be fit that demonstration I withdraw I apologize and I have to do that more be fit that because moment la fi ya fo mo mo kurungolete the same thing ko nintol sita bi fonna banko be kala drug center ti ay ke traffic hobbe ndol be mona fola ni be tol nen na jang ni be tol hasla Norway jang ni be hasa Germany wala Switzerland ndol be mona fola wala Canada de fem fo no la because already na banko mo teneti anu ye gambe dingol yen tol lonnu ngari meta mo ta Europe menum Angleterre immigration ninte fola yin gambe passeport ika fonde ko no gambe nol karango doron ika wole fo immigration ba ko ha karango doron tol ni Nigeria no problem tol ni bari gambe ko no karango one time de be travel kan do kudla nyanta tala meeting wala nyanta na passport wala mfota airport I've never experienced this in my life today immigration ol ye kayto dina yembula yeta iko gambe ndingo ta ye kayto dinna I went that dokola bule kayita ni gambe no respect nu nyame but years after nintol be hanni bitamra red passport ni ay tan dawda to ko jamani ika fo yesi follow ika sile ye molbe fenke nete wuran almost because of what so me murukan jele mam pare tala je ngalon ko batabe keri banko tole ngalon ko banko mantara takan ngalon ko problème obe siarine bari ya fole jang andu mbafula mbe wintale kono sumaya kono ngatama ay sole kono nga dum ay sole kono nyin kulungol be katama ay sole kono bari special kulungol lem de ko sika ay so jele kulungo be loring ay so kono be ay so farala abita mbe wo watole to ten ka fa nyin sifa fanya ala man tankala bobel haninte la bungom be siri njanyame nalbe diamla ni nga hita fa nti firis jang nga fa hita nyin dorom bun kono jang be bun kono de suyeta be mbulu nyimbe be mbulu hita be malade hanibi suyeta le bente bala jato to
man fanat
aha nang suyeta le babu suyeta wala babu hita be malade dimba be malade pour ka bungo kandi so ite imagine gambe ndika je jaketol me ka dum fang wo man ka hani soma to lo no we hani soma jaketo to woti hani soma yo ka jaketo me ni ka dum kulungola ni adun jan soma fang is suma ya sedula ikaw jaketo du ni winta kono ni suma ya me yalon ko isi ibe na fo dunnale na fo kulungo ke ko mura ni ta fen ko tay kango yo fananta yo siti kat suma ya kandula gulo fo ye dum kawasol nyin kawasol mu special kawasol lem amanke kawas kulumba lem yo fana dum samata kulungol yo fana dum wo be ka finti bantalem de kata biti koto kana ni me pare ku ika frisle hanni ye bulo bondi iko mbatu ngana mobile nga bulo fo bondi ngana mobile ta janni be o kala bulo be ka fris to dinga imagine tara nyin kulungo kon ite jaketo men duwo jaketo hani soma fango abuka sambano ite yo freeze because ika jale kong ye ja kong ye fa what kind of painful death do dimina so mbal mane nela nyinte time ti kata Europe ale nyinta ko landi masakunda hopefully abe ku kelale ka nyinko jube ku molbe ye kafun nga jube bari nyin time ate Europe tati Europe ta ko Backway ta to kulunta ha atitati mbe ice andu merol mambanyol mfanyol mba fulay ko ndul katama ice wole kono ni wati aiso ndatama wole kam anda samatole bije adendi kole bije anafole bije ala salfle bije anda ala glofol le bije ni man wosuko ika faale parce que suma fa so mbafula molbe mbafula yaya tatal sa ngala ko connection problem andum di bayal fana babu landu tolbe biziri ne ni wati ni crisis o membe kering mbafula yaya ko abarka bake fo e tay mo menati ka kol bondi nyamo kono mole ka mol fana ka jube ko mol hakilo mol nyanta menkele nyanta bela ka il faut because sulata wolela sulata ni na mol ka moy altol dato isaje ya understand ko lo nyame mbafula na mol fana tol membe Europe du kare ngal manene na try fanan ka kol jindi demanding ni Europe katara Europe ka ko jindi mo ma foko ikana ku bake ikana kuke bari nga kol jindi demanding nga kol ke nyame nga jindi do mari saje nyin du ngol fana ya understand ko Europe manke honey and fenko amanke woti du lem du ka min ika batale bi jam fanan ika struggle mo buka domoro dila ni masoto mo buka kodo dila ni masoto ika ta do kule yena ila bilojo nin karo fada ni abe bondi je fem buka tuje ne su talante o ki su fem buka tuje alinga ntol membe yiro fanan alinga kol jindi demanding ni tata li fo la Gambia mo ma foko kana happy mo ba kana pare kana la kol ko bari nga ko tala demanding isaje ni dinno la understand andu nin nata fanan December be kering mbe farin je tep du kare alinkara explain ye problem mo be nyamen alinkara kol be nyamen ngalo e buka son katu de ka kele watu wasindere gambe ndiam de ka fu ko te yenan fa mu ngi naxari yenan fa tok e ka wole fonde o meta mu ngi naxari yenan tok and sometimes ngari me ba fa o time ka fonde man civilized fa ko ni de la gambe holiday de ka I just go like anybody man la fi wa impression you can look over civilized, you know, civilized. No, but all these things is just to reduce this thing, to reduce it. So for a cold gin, you think watch it, right? You watch it, them Europe, you watch it, so you holiday. Some say it's okay, but then watch it, a face separate. Do handing you, rek di wax man lima am fi be pare dégg nga tassé ni sa ci do Europe la il faut ki li mo def o ngeen no loi mo fi nek ku nek loi ngat ba fi dofulo to top lo loi fi dofulo to top lo loi so nañ leen dimbalé rek ñu dimbalante jappalante ñun ñep mba fala abe barka mba fala Aziz abarka bake coming because with your expertise in security ufanan kantul makoy bakale ka kol bondi nyamo ko no demanding ka advise in that aspect because ka mol makoy bakale barka bake mba fala na Suleiman ñol imantara jang be bizirine life momo ni la responsibility so lem ko lem bamba fana mantara jang and then Suleiman baji fana mantara jang Mustafa fana be the main person amantara jang because fana be bizirine call abe call kono so bi wo ning assist lem nga technical thing ota nga fenke but wolem fo nga mutaka information na ala barka bake andum bal konto na nyin sangola ala ma nyin sango officiala sango mento ala ma Cairo sabati la Gambia ala ma Gambia di la mansa kunda me alonko ayento ayen hati mansa kunda me alonko yenna interest soto mansa kunda me alonko tenna fentala kan na fengol sunya mansa kunda me alonko nin diamuta sin lamoy andu si kuka isi kuka kono ala ma ala e mansa kunda natinye me yalonko dafa am yermande malo ka hofo man ka kangoto dafa am yermande
balafa
man sakunda me ye balafa soto man sakunda me ya lonko ay respogo soto ay mbunya ay horama alama ala yo man sakunda di gambia kasi gambia di ngol batatale ala barka bake for next Saturday ngamburuna ala barka bake abarka bake
thank you Mary. Thank you.
Okay, end stream. Yeah.